Lasers, what's the best laser? This video is going to showcase all of these different machines and really comparing them. So I do have dedicated videos on each of these different lasers, as well as several project videos for each. More than just a review, it's a lot more. But this video is going to go through each machine and talk about their advantages, what they are best suited for, and what makes sense for you and your workflow. Lots of good stuff here. We do have timestamps so you can skip around, or you can just see the whole thing. And then at the end, we'll talk about how you can get a free laser. So some cool promotions, some really cool deals, but yes, one does include a viewer of this video can get a full refund on any one of these lasers that they purchase worldwide. So anyway, laser review, comparing the lasers. Here we go. So right now I want to do a quick overview of these different lasers, what they are, and then we'll do a kind of a showcase of each one. So you can use the timestamps if you want to look at a different one. Like I mentioned, I have full videos on each machine, so you can check that out. But first, I want to start with the one on the far left. This one is the P2. This is actually the P2S, the brand new version of the CO2 laser. I've used this one the most. It is a very powerful machine. It can cut everything. So just about everything. It has all the power. It can also do engraving, but that's the CO2 laser. Again, all of these lasers can be run inside your home. I am in the garage, woodworker, shop space, but all of these machines can be run inside the house. I can just vent them outside or use a purifier, but that's the CO2. Next is the F series. So both this one, the F1 Ultra, and the F1, you can see there's a little size comparison, size difference. This is the original one. So the F1 and the F1 Ultra, there are what are known as Galvo lasers. What that means is there isn't a sliding gantry to go back and forth. Instead, it's just lightning fast for engraving. And so crazy fast engraving, batch production for sure. There's also attachments on them. There's a conveyor on this one. There's a slide extension to do bigger objects. They do well for cutting as well, and they can actually cut some materials that the other machines can't. This one in particular can do metal, if you're interested in that, so we'll dive into those. But these are really fast. So this is the F1 Ultra and the F1. They're also very portable, so you could take them to craft shows, do custom engraving on site. This one right here is the S1, and so this is probably the best beginner laser, in my opinion, because it has all of the great features at a great introductory rate. You can add in other modules, you can kind of scale up, so it can switch out the different powerful heads. You can even get the IR capabilities to do some metal on here, but it's an enclosed design. There's a lot of safety features. There's some pinpoint accuracy. So this is a great machine. It comes in, they all come in, well, most of them come in different colors as well. But this is the S1. And so we'll talk about this one. Great machine, safe, awesome. This is a brand new one that just came out this last year, the M1 Ultra. Now, xTool did originally have the M1. This is an upgraded version that has a lot of different modules. So I can take a module like this, laser head, and I can swap out for a cutter like a Cricut, pens. I can add a print head. So a lot of different possibilities on this one. They also have their heat press for some capabilities. So this is like a combo craft machine. So we'll dig into all of these shortly. So here is the different lasers. Let's jump in and look at each one, step by step. So first up, I want to talk about the S1. And so the S1 is a diode laser, which is pretty standard for most lasers you see, especially for an introductory laser. And it has the option of switching out to different heads. So this one right here is a 20 watt. And so you can also switch out to a 10 watt, a little bit less, a little bit more affordable for an entry. You can also go up to a 40 watt power. This one also can do a 2 watt IR laser.
It can switch to a 1064 nanometer laser module and expand the material range to metal, acrylic, plastic, and more to meet all your creative needs.
So the diode, what that means, the diode, it can engrave all the different woods, leather, materials. It can cut out wood, cut out plywood. It can cut out most colors of acrylic. The diode is great, but the IR, which is what's found in this one and the other F1 Ultra, that allows you for engraving for more materials. So you can engrave metal, other things, and so that's a nice ability with this machine that you can switch out. Because it doesn't have the camera, there's some savings in this machine to make it more affordable, and even without the camera, it's actually fantastic. So you can get pinpoint accuracy exactly where you want, and there are features of taking a picture and lining it up with the free software online. So this one also has other accessories. You can do a riser base like you see here. It does come in the white. I just have a different color riser base here. So you can get this in gray or white, up to you. Gray and a green top, or white and the yellow orange top. But it can open up and I can do a really long thing that I can feed through. So lots of possibilities, but especially if you want to do like big signs or bigger things like this, this is a great machine, and the safety features obviously are there. All these machines have the option of adding in air assist. So this thing, so that's just going to go right here, and it's going to blow away, the extra soot, make cleaner cuts, faster cuts, cleaner engravings. It also has a fire system if you're really interested in having extra precaution to put out fires as well. So that's the S1, a lot more to it. Here's some of the things that I've made with this S1. There is a pretty extensive list of all the things that you can make, but these are all items that I did make with the S1. And so big mix there. Here is the S1 in action. Doing some layered signs. I really love doing these layered signs. I do, of course, have a whole video just on this process. You'll see a theme throughout here with each laser. I also have project videos for those lasers. And so obviously this is a big bed, so it can do, it can cut wood, it can cut most acrylics, most colors, can do cool signs like this, door hangers, can do larger stuff. Of course, it can do bigger ones with the conveyor as well. Another application, even without the camera, it can do curved surface engraving. And so some really cool features in the software where you can engrave on a curved surface. I'll talk more about that with another machine later, but that is possible with the S1. Here you can just see some more signs, some more possibilities that can be done with this machine. The diode really can do quite a bit. This is a new thing I've been doing a lot of, and these are painted canvases. Actually, the S1 I feel is the best machine for this. Really did well. This was mostly done with the 20 watt, also the 40 watt, but really, really cool. Yes, I do have a video on this. So some fun projects and ideas. Next up is the M1 Ultra. Again, this is a brand new version of the original M1. So xTool had the M1 that had a lot of these features, but the M1 Ultra kind of took from the S1 and built upon it with even more possibilities. And so, like I mentioned earlier, really easy. This is the print head. This is the only one that you actually have to plug in. But what's so easy, I can just swap in laser. Now I have a laser head. Or I can do this multi-carriage one. Swapped in, and then I can do a big blade. I can do rotary blade for leather. I can do a foil transfer tip. You can do a pen attachment over here. So there's a lot of possibilities with this machine where you don't have multiple tools. So one footprint, all the different machines. And so I do have a great video that kind of goes through all the possibilities in much more detail, but this is an all-around machine. And then xTool also started doing their own heat presses. So smart heat presses, this can detach. There's a small one, which is great if you want to start doing some vinyl or some of those adhesive leather patches, things like that. So this is a great machine that you can do all in one, or you can combo with other machines as well. Of course, the rotary attachment for doing tumblers. This has the optional riser base down below, so you could do big tumblers and other engravings like that. So this is a great option. Here's some of the things that I've made with the M1 Ultra. So it has all the laser possibilities with that 10 watt or 20 watt. Can do those painted canvases like I showed earlier. This is the 10 watt feature here. It can do another thing with that print head, right? And so here I am printing directly on wood. What a cool feature. And so no messing with other machines or getting alignment. I can print directly onto the wood, and then I can use the laser cutter and cut out on the wood. So I have a whole video on puzzle making, and just obviously obviously a great application of printing something directly on and then cutting it, but other possibilities that I'll get into in that video. But the cutting capabilities are great. Again, this is just the 10 watt and it's still plenty powerful, and so great dust extraction with all the other features. We'll talk more about some dust and smoke extraction later in the video. This one was an amazing revelation, is the rotary cutter with leather. And so obviously the lasers can cut leather, and that does work well, but this is a really cool application with veg tan, legit leather. And then I did use the laser cutter, the laser engraver, to engrave it, but there's no fraying on the edge, so that was a really fun application. The pens, so many possibilities here. Obviously that video does a deeper dive into all it can do, but again, kind of the things that the Cricut can do with the pens. The foil transfer tip is pretty awesome. Again, this is such a great hobby machine with all the possibilities. There's even more that obviously I'm not showing in this quick look, but these are all projects that I did with the M1 Ultra. Loads of possibilities. So this is a great all-around hobby machine. So next up, I want to talk about the CO2 laser. So this is the P2. This one's the P2S. It's an upgrade. Basically what this means, it is crazy powerful. This is the most powerful of these types of lasers. It can cut just about anything. And so if you're doing lots of layers, cutting a lot, this is definitely your machine. If you want to cut through all the different colored acrylics, especially the clear acrylics or the glittery acrylics, you need a CO2 laser. And so it's a little different. There's a glass tube back here, you know, there's gas and all that good stuff, but this is an amazing laser, and this is my favorite. So I've had, I can see, you know, I don't know if you can see, over here I have the old P2, the original, which is amazing. I've done thousands of projects on here, and this is the P2S. It's basically the same machine with a couple upgrades. So one is in the back, and so I have a whole video on this, but in the back I can just pop off the fan for easy cleaning, and then, let's see, pull it out. Pull it out, I can clean this, maintain the machine a lot easier. Also, the fact that it has the dual fans, really, like an inline fan is great. We'll talk about accessories and some other options later, but this is crazy powerful. Also built into the machine is an improved air assist, and that just allows for cleaner cuts, faster cuts. But what else on the P2? Well, the P2 also has the option, as some of the other machines do, of curved surface engraving. Because there are two cameras in here, there's two different cameras. You can obviously get pinpoint accuracy on all the machines, but the camera allows for some other features, including curved surface engraving, which you can do on the S1 with the pin, the probe, but the camera allows for a smart fill application. So smart fill is really cool. It's something like this here.
Two built-in 16MP cameras bring amazing intelligence to this machine. Easily drag your drawings to the right place you want and fill patterns on multiple objects in one batch. This largely boosts your business productivity in the busy season.
So that is a great feature. Also with the P2 and with the S1, there's the optional riser base, and you can pop it open and pass through a giant sign. You can do a big piece. You can get much bigger projects, right? All kinds of, you know, stuff that can get a little bit bigger. And so this is just a great machine, you know, if I'm going to do a lot of cutting out of hardwoods or other plywoods. Other projects I've done on the P2 are right here. So curved surface engraving really is remarkable, and so here it can really account for the different heights, so you don't lose that focal length and all that stuff. Bottom line, you just get better results and just an even engraving and an even burn. Here, I don't even have a rotary for these tumblers that you see here. These were all done without a rotary and still a perfect engraving, but lots of possibilities. I have a whole video here on all these different projects that I did with the curved surface engraving, some other tips. But recently, xTool's come out with the P2S that not only has curved surface engraving normally, but curved cylinder engraving. And so you can do that while using their rotary. Amazing. So other things, right? Obviously, it's a great cutting machine. So here I'm actually cutting out some laminated wood that I glued up together. Ornaments are a great project for the P2 or now the P2S, whether it's acrylic or different hardwoods like this. Get some great results. Obviously, you can make a ton of these. These are great sellers at craft shows. but it can do the glossy. It can do this gold acrylic. It can do clear acrylic. You can do individual little pieces for chessboards like I did here. I have a whole video on these chessboards, but all the different colors of acrylic, you're not limited to the really glittery ones or some of the translucent ones that you can't cut with any diode machine. No matter what they say, you can't. So there's no limitations for cutting with the P2 or this new version, the P2S. So the P2S has a lot of other new upgrades, which are awesome, including a better exhaust fan. It's dual. It's easy to clean. You just pop it out. It's so easy to maintain, these magnetic screens. So I do have some videos that are coming out about it, including the air pump, which is just cleaner cuts, better engraving, it's faster, does improve efficiency and all that good stuff. So lots of other cool things, including, my gosh, this batch processing is so cool with the camera. You can also change it. I dig into this in my upcoming video. Actually, it's released right now, where you can see the P2S and learn more about the P2S and all these cool new features. It's faster. It's also this upgraded S version is faster. So pretty cool stuff, but look for this video and upcoming ones on the P2S. So we have the P2S, the P2 over here, the CO2 machine. Now we're going to jump over to these Galvo machines. Now what's so cool about the F1 and F1 Ultra is these are insanely fast. Doubling, tripling, like way faster for engraving than the other machines because there's no gantry. And so there's a fixed point and it just really quickly can engrave all kinds of things. So batch production, it's really, you can do a couple seconds, something's engraved. Both this one and this one, they have an optional slide extension. So this one has a slide extension where I can do cutting, bigger things, wider. And this one has a conveyor for automatic, filling. This one actually has a camera built in. And so with a camera, it can do that smart fill application again, some other things here. But the F1, this was the original. It's great. It is very light and transportable. You can take these to craft shows. I've done that. It's great to, just customize things on site. This one is still kind of mobile. You can move it. It's obviously a lot heavier and bigger, but you could do that. But this unit is great. So it has the diode where I can do some cutting, stuff like ornaments, like so. I can cut out different layers and I can do stuff about that size. So a 10-watt diode laser, so I could do some cutting. Also that slide extension allows for cutting, but it also has a 2-watt IR laser, and that allows for engraving on more materials than just wood. I can do engraving in metal and other things. This is great. I've done a ton of projects this one. Here are some of the things I've done with the F1. So here's just a wide shot of, business cards, different metal things, and really kind of showcasing the metal. Obviously, you can do the wood with the diode, but the metal feature is pretty awesome. Here, the IR laser is actually doing a cleanup pass after the diode, the blue diode. You can do rings. You can use this rotary attachment to do the one ring. What I love about it, here I'm in my home, and I'm just running it in the house, watching TV. I got a purifier here. I'm able to do a bunch of coasters. It's just running. So again, all these machines you can just run in your house, perfectly safe. Other options. The coasters, the slate coasters, my gosh, are those fun. And so you can do that actually on all of these machines I'm showing, but the F1 just makes it so quick and easy. I got a whole video on this, as well as some ideas for AI and some other cool designs. That's a really fun project. Other thing that's cool about the F1 is you can remove the bottom plate and engrave all kinds of things. So I'm a woodworker. I can engrave on the side of my cutting boards, or I can just batch out like this. I've actually used every one of my lasers to engrave different cutting boards, but the F1 works great for that, and that cool feature about being able to go on the side of things. Here's that slide extension in use. So it actually works really well. It can do longer pieces, bigger pieces. You can also do, jigs and attachments for engraving. So even though it's small, you can do more. And there's a whole video I have just on these items in particular and engraving. Some really unique things that make great custom gifts and some money-making potential. So that's the F1. Well, recently, xTool upgraded to the F1 Ultra. So obviously it is larger, it is bigger, but instead of a 10-watt, it now has a 20-watt diode. So more powerful, faster for cutting, for engraving, you can do bigger things, and it has a 20-watt fiber laser as opposed to the 2-watt. So now you can engrave metals deeper. You can do a deep embossing. This allows for deep engraving. This allows for metal cutting. Thin metals you can cut. I have several videos on this machine and lots more possibilities that none of the other machines can do because you have the fiber power. So some really cool things that you can do with this one. But yeah, this one does also have a camera. It has a touchpad on this one, a couple other features that improved on this one, which is amazing. And so anyway, this one's really cool. So this one, here are some of the things that I have done with the F1 Ultra. So this one is just so fun. There are no limitations. And the metals, right? All the different metals, of course, you can do acrylic and wood and all of that. But all the other materials, you can go so much deeper because of that fiber power. And so really fun. And another feature that it has that none of the other machines have is this deep embossing mode. And so I'm actually going into wood right now. I do have a video just dedicated to this process where you can emboss in wood. You can get this deep recessed effect. Like you saw earlier, right, we can do these wax seals, deep engraving into brass. My gosh, is that a fun little application there with some wax seals and all the possibilities. So that's cool right there. Obviously, the coins are super cool. You can go very deep, super deep. Remove all that material, get some really, really cool effects. I'm exploring a lot of different possibilities with these coins. I've done a ton. Do know that these take a while. These take a lot of time to remove all the material. It's not like you're going to batch these out in no time. They can take, 3 to 5 hours. It just depends on your settings and lots of variables there, but it's super fun and you can do it. You actually can engrave and do this deep embossing into the wood. You can emboss into slate as well, and so really deep here, get some pretty dramatic results, cool reliefs. You can also cut. So here's some thin brass and I'm able to cut out these earrings. This does take quite some time to cut it out. So again, I do want to make sure you understand it's not going to cut super crazy fast, but it can. It's possible. I can also do some deep embossing into ceramics here. And so I have another video kind of showcasing this effect where it's not just etching, it's actually a deep engrave, a pretty fun one. There is also the conveyor. So this conveyor is so cool. It works really, really well to do just batch production. Again, with the cameras in there, it can just auto sense everything and then it just keeps things moving. So there is a video that I have just on how this conveyor works, some of the things that you can do on the conveyor, and it's cool. You get full production just in a garage or in your home, right? So some of the possibilities of the F1 Ultra. One more consideration for this F series, for these Galvo lasers, they do have that fixed point. So while they're engraving or cutting, they are going at an angle. And so as opposed to these other machines where the gantry moves it back and forth and it's going straight down, if I have something like further, it is an angle. So sometimes the cuts might be not exactly 90 degrees. They might be at a little bit of an angle. It hasn't been an issue for me. They do cutting. However, in my opinion, these are primarily amazing for engraving, and just so fast for engraving all kinds of things for branding, small business, great option. A good combo. There's quite a few combo deals with these machines. I think that works really well, and more machines going, obviously. So that's the not the diodes. That's the Galvo F1 and F1 Ultra. So really quick, I want to talk about some of the accessories that you can use for all the different machines. The great thing about xTool is these different accessories, like this rotary attachment, they work in all the different machines. So this is the RA2 Pro. There's different cords that work with the different ones, and this just allows for curved engraving, but full rotary attachments. So different attachments to do rings, to do tumblers, glasses, mugs, all kinds of things, vases, ornament balls. And so lots of different attachments for this. Here are some of the things that I've made with this rotary attachment. So rings are definitely possible, right? You can do the inside of the ring. Can do an engraving inside of there, which is so cool to customize. You can do ornaments, globes, other things. Here's the rotary doing a handled mug. So you can definitely do it with the big handle. Definitely possible to get full wraps all the way around. can do a deeper engraving. Some fun possibilities here with mugs, whether it's one of the machines for an etching. This one was the F1 Ultra. I could go a lot deeper. I was able to do that. I kind of talked about that video, even in ceramics and possibilities, but obviously tumblers. Tumblers are so cool. The possibilities of full wraps galore, make your own custom, tumblers like this. So lots of possibilities with the rotary. So this is super fun rotary attachment. As far as venting, right? So again, I'm in a garage space, but you can use all of these machines in your home, and I've used quite a few of these in my home. A couple options. Well, one, there's this desktop purifier. This one is great to be used like with the F1. I've used it for some of the other smaller ones. That's great. It's really portable, and so that's a great option. This one is a larger smoke purifier. Works great. I've used it with all the other machines. So multiple layers there. Does a really good job of it. However, probably eventually you're going to want to just vent it outside. Sometimes I definitely use this when I'm closing up the garage, but if you can just vent it out a window or cutting a hole like a dryer vent, a great option is getting an inline fan. So an inline fan looks something like this. I have a couple on all of them, and that just pulls the air out even further. And so if you have a weird configuration where it's at, it can pull the air faster, and it can just get it out of your house, out of your home, out of your garage, out of your apartment. So the inline fan is a great option, and I highly recommend if you've ever encountered issues or know people who had issues with extra smoke or smells in your home or somewhere, it's because you really need to pull out more of that air, and so the inline fan is great. On the P2S, like I talked about, this new fan is a lot more powerful, so the internal fans are getting more powerful, but those inline fans are really helpful. All right, a couple more. These are air assist. So on some of the machines, air assist is built in. This is the one that I've used on quite a few. This is a brand new version from xTool. It's really nice, really handy. And so that just puts a lot more air to where you're engraving. And so there isn't going to be as much char. You're not going to have to do as much sanding or any sanding, really. It's a cleaner engrave. It also makes for cleaner cuts, which is really nice when you're working with the higher end quality woods, like this is sapele mahogany. You don't want to sand through the veneer on those nice hardwood veneers. So looking into an air assist, this is something that you're going to want to consider on the M1 Ultra or the S1, because those aren't built in to the machine. And last but not least, there's other accessories, but one that I love is the screen printer. So the screen printer, I got quite a few videos like this video here, how to use this. The idea is, you got a screen, and then you laser the screen. So you can laser the design on the screen. It's really fun. It's really fun to do your own screen printing. And so xTool's got a lot of other accessories, but I got a couple videos on screen printing, how to do that. This, I find my favorite machine to use this on is the S1. S1, it's really designed well for that. There's some other ways you can do it on the P2 or the M. Technically, you could do it on any of the machines, just as long as you can fit it where you need to fit it. So some options, some other accessories that are cool to look into and maybe add on now or in the future. Really quick, I want to talk about an amazing new resource I've used called Creative Fabrica. Now, this is not new. It's actually been around for quite a while in the laser community, in the crafting world, but it's new to me. And so some of the great features, all these different files, right? And so you can certainly buy these files on Etsy. You can go to other places, but you can find all kinds of files here in a subscription as opposed to buying individual files. So typically, you'd go onto Etsy or another site and you'd have to spend like $3 on this file and then $5 on this and $4. Well, instead, you can just go, you can try this free trial. Yes, I do have an affiliate link down below. First 10 downloads for free. So at the very least, check it out and you can get 10 downloads for free, which is going to save you some money. And then you can check out, their all access plan. But the other thing that's great is the commercial use is allowed on all the resources. So if you're making items to sell and you want to use these, you do need a commercial license. So a lot of times on Etsy, the commercial license is a separate expenditure. And so anyway, a lot of really great files in here to check out. So, fonts as well, if you really want to spruce up and, up your game with your engravings or whatnot, lots of different files, as well as PNGs and things that you can convert. So a lot of different possibilities. So use that link down below and, just click right here and you're going to get started. It's pretty easy. Anyway, well, I've already signed up. You get the idea. So anyway, use that link down below and get started on some cool files. Check it out. And real quick, some other ideas. Obviously, all the Christmas stuff is there, but I've been doing a lot of tumblers, right? And so all the tumbler wraps, some really cool designs there. Lots more that you just saw in this last video. All these layered signs, right? These big bundles. Again, it is just unlimited downloads. So these are those 10 free downloads. Jump on, get these, or do the subscription and keep going. You can see all the different possibilities. Also gives you an idea what else you can do with lasers, and so many possibilities. But definitely check out that link down below. So, which machine do you get? Well, really, it depends on what you're planning to do. So, if you are, budget conscious and you're worried about, the cost, because some of these are pretty pricey, definitely recommend the S1. The S1 is the best beginner laser just because of the price. You can get this very affordable at the 10 watt, which can do a lot, and then later you can scale up to add the 20 watt or the 40 watt or even do the IR module, and it's great. The M1 Ultra, this one is awesome if you're a crafter and you want to have multiple machines in one. You can take all those different hobby machines in one, lots of capabilities. Maybe it's a little bit limited on size compared to some of these other ones, but if you're not planning on doing a ton of cutting or lots of really large things, then this is great. Of course, the riser base, you can engrave large things like tumblers. If you're a small business and you're just trying to do mass production and engraving things, the F1 or the F1 Ultra are great. I love the F1 Ultra because there's power, right? It's 20 watt for the diode as opposed to 10 watt, and then the IR is very powerful. And so you can do metal. You're not limited on material type. There's also the automatic conveyor, but the camera features are really great. So these are great options. This one obviously is more affordable and more portable. It's fantastic. You can do a ton with it. So if you're wanting to just get started, check this one out and then maybe scale up to the F1 Ultra. I love the F1 Ultra, it's so cool. The P2 is my favorite just because I have no limitations. So when I'm cutting out really intricate designs or different acrylics, I have no limitations on the material type. It does also have the camera. It has two cameras, so I get pinpoint accuracy even closer, and then there's curved surface engraving. I can get all kinds of other features. It's bigger too. Both the P2 and the S1, they do have the automatic conveyor, so I could add a conveyor for really long pieces if I wanted. But the P2, there's just no limitations on the color of acrylic. I can do the clears, I can do the glittery, you can do all kinds of things. So a definite, that's my favorite, but there's all sorts of different things. So it really depends on what you're planning to do. There are some promotions where they do a combo of like, hey, an F1 and this for great savings, so you might want to check that out. One more thing, you might already have a laser. You might already have the D1 or maybe another brand open bed laser, and you're looking for adding in the safeties. Well, xTool has a great trade-in promotion where you can work with them and kind of trade in that old laser for a coupon towards one of these machines. They're safer, there's a lot more features, and of course the reason I love xTool is there's so many reasons I love xTool. So xTool, I love xTool for a ton of reasons. You can see I'm only, showcasing xTool machines. Well, the reason for that, I do have every other laser company has reached out to me trying to do videos, but I just love working with xTool because their customer service is fantastic. They have over 500 folks in their R&D department. They're constantly coming out with new ideas, improvements. Their software is free. It is super easy to use. All of their accessories work with all the different types of machines. So if you end up branching out to different ones, but also the user base is extensive. There are so many worldwide users of xTool machines, and they share all their files, they share their ideas and tips. The Facebook groups are amazing. So there is just it's just a great company, great product. So the giveaway, the free laser, all of that. We'll get to that in just a second. But if this video provided value and you want to see more laser videos, other videos like this, please consider subscribing to see more videos just like this. All of these lasers, yes, I did receive these lasers from xTool in exchange for making these videos and an affiliate commission. And so if you choose to purchase and you use this link or the link down below, my affiliate link, we do get a small portion. It helps support the channel. And also, if you use this affiliate link, you are eligible for the full refund event. So this is brand new. I haven't heard of other companies doing this before. So what happens is if you purchase one of these machines through this link, you just fill out down in the description a survey with our channel 68 Woodworks and the order number you had, and they will randomly draw one person from this video, just from this video. Anyone who buys through this video, through this link, will get a full refund. Yes, a full refund. So if you buy the P2, you will get the full refund. Tax, shipping, everything is refunded. More information is down below in the description, but if you're looking to get a machine, there are amazing savings right now. It's the anniversary sale, or if you're watching it later, there's always great sales. But if you buy right now, you are eligible for maybe getting that full refund. So something to check out. If you have questions on specific machines, definitely check out those other videos, or you can just drop a comment down below on what you're hoping to see, some questions that you might have, what you're looking for more in the future. So thank you for watching. Really hope this added value and this did help. Until next time, take care, one and all.